So the first thing I just want to say to you is that first, I appreciate you being on this video today because we are in the information age. And if anything, we are being flooded with so much information. And this is the key. You've got to take all that noise, all that busyness, and you've got to learn to distill it down into some quietness. And that quietness that I want you to focus on is not about all the information coming. It's about listening to the information and saying, this information empower me. Will it make me a better person? See, I have one question for you right now. And this question is a question that when you answer will tell me whether you're going to tune in or tune out to what we have to say. And that question is, has the world seen the best of you, or do you have more to give? And what I mean by that is, have you achieved everything you wanted to achieve? Have you done all the things you want to do? Are you where you are? Are you totally happy, contented, and say, you know what, I've done it all. I'm just going to sit back and just stay where I am for the rest of my life? Is that you? Or do you believe there's something in you going, there's more I can give, there's more I can do, there's more things I want to do with my life and achieve with my life, with my family? Have you got that burning desire in there? Is that still in there? Because if that's in there, this tool that we're going to give you today is for you to help you enjoy life. One of my philosophies on life is about evolving to be the best you can be. Are you at your best now, or do you believe you've got more to give? If you can, then again, stay tuned, and we're going to walk you through this process of going step by step. So we're going to take all that noise you've got out there, we're going to distill it to give you some nuggets that's going to help you become the best you can be. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but underestimate what they can do in 10 years. See, when you look at the 10-year goal, you go, oh my God, that's so far away. So you tend to give up on it. But really, just look at the last 10 years and just see what's happening. You know, take where you are today and go back 10 years and look at where you are now. Are you where you wanted to be 10 years ago? Did you have this goal 10 years ago? You've really got to get yourself into thinking not just short term, but mid-term and long term. One good day doesn't make a good week. One good week doesn't make a good month, and one good month doesn't make a good year, and one good year doesn't make a good decade. If you want to be truly successful, you got to start thinking in decades. You're going to gain thousands of successes along the way, but you've got to start thinking in decades. The purpose of this video is to teach you about the importance of setting goals and how that can dramatically improve your success in life. We're not just going to teach you, we're going to show you how, we're going to give you step-by-step tips, and we're going to motivate you to apply one of the great God-given gifts of setting a goal and achieving it. Now, unfortunately, we tend to use goal setting for trivial things in our lives, and we don't use it for the big thing. And I'm not just trying to trivialize life or what we do, but a good example of it is birthdays, Christmas. I know people who buy their Christmas gifts nearly 12 months in advance. They've already bought them. They've planned Christmas dinner, where everybody's going to sit, what we're going to have to eat, the drinks and everything. They've got all that at Christmas time. They planned the New Year's party. And then when I ask them, so what is your goal for this year coming up? And they stare at me and look me blank and they go, but we are like a ship at sea with no rudder. So the wind's blowing, the storms are coming, and they are just shifting you and blowing you around. That's what's happening. That's life. All those outside forces are moving you, manipulating you, and pushing you sometimes into uncomfortable situations. But then at the same time, the sea can be calm, and you think everything is great till the next storm comes along. Well, what goal setting does, it puts a rudder into the ship, takes you and it puts that rudder. That's what that goal is. And now you can control your direction. It doesn't matter whether the wind's blowing this way or the sea's moving this way. You use the rudder to guide yourself. So this is how you navigate yourself through all the challenges, everything that's going outside there in life, and continue to bring yourself to be successful. And I want you to think about this. You don't get immediate results. We're in a world today where we just want everything instant. You get online, you go on there, you can Google this, Google that, you can hit that button, you get so much information, you can get instant. We're so instant motivated that if we can't get a result quick enough, we give up on it. We have instant tea, instant coffee, we want instant success. Success is not instant. Even if you play the lottery, it's not instant because you don't win it the first time you play. It's taking years and years to work to get the money, to then play the lottery for years and years to years, and you might gamble and maybe get lucky and win. We're going to give you tools. This is not a gamble. This is just a fact. This is what successful people use all the time to be at the top of the game. And this is what the sports people do. It's a step-by-step process, and you can learn this and you can do this too. Steve Jobs said, the life is going to sometimes hit you in the head with a brick. Whatever you don't give up, don't lose faith. We are going to have challenges. Just remember, there's going to be challenges. That's why pen and paper is so important to work these things so you don't lose them. There is a workbook here that you can print out. Let's print out the workbook. Get your pen and pad. Let's get all set. Steve Jobs famously quoted that my favorite things in life don't cost money. But it's really clear in life that the most precious gift we have is time. And it's how do we use that time? And when you stop and think about it, there is 24 hours in a day. We all have 24 hours. It doesn't matter whether you're rich, you're poor, whether you're happy, you're unhappy. We all have 24 hours in a day. And when you stop and think about those 24 hours, when you break it down, it's 86,400 seconds in a day. And when I was first explained this to me, and the way I got it and I understood it, and I'm going to share this with you. If I gave you $86,400 or pounds or euros or whatever currency you're in, if I gave you $86,400 and I said, I'm going to give you $86,400 every day. When you wake up in the morning, there's another $86,400 and you can spend that $86,400, but whatever's left, we take it away from you. You cannot save it. You've got to spend it. So if you only spend 70,000 of the 86,400, 16,400 was going to be taken off you, but you get a fresh 86,400 every day. If that was the case, how much of that 86,400 would you spend a day? Would you only spend 5,000? Would you spend 10,000 of the 86,400? What would you spend? You see, the reality is the answer, don't you? I know, I can see what some of you think. That was me. There will be nothing left at the end of the day. And that's what life is all about, is how do we maximize our time and make it more precious? Because once you begin to respect the fact that we all have the same amount of time, we can achieve we've got to learn how to use our time in a more effective way to become more successful. That's one of the keys to success. And goal setting is a way of giving you a direction to achieve that. Think about this. The first thing you do when you get into your car or you're going somewhere with your sat nav and your GPS, what's the first thing you do? You put the destination in, and then the car routes the way to it. And if you take a left turn or the wrong turn, it reroutes you back on track. That's what the goal setting is, putting that destination in. But how are you going to do it when you never take the time to actually sit down and set true worthy goals? So we're going to jump straight into this right now. The first thing you have to do, this is the most important thing. The first step is you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision right now while I'm talking to you, while you're listening right now, that enough is enough. I am going to sit down. I'm going to get a piece of paper. I'm going to get a pen and pad. Do it on your phone. Take some notes. And I am going to start setting goals. You have got to make that decision right now that this is the new me. I am going to become a goal setting machine. That's what I'm going to do. Everything I want to do, I'm going to set the goal, and then I'm going to use the steps that we're going to share with you now on how you're going to do that. So make the decision. Make it now. There's no more thinking about it. We've done enough talking. Let's make the decision. And now we're going to go to step 2. Step two, this is the fun part. Step two is about getting a piece of paper, get your pen and pad again, and start making a dream list. I'm going to call it a dream list because we're going to turn that dreams into reality. But first, we just need to dream. What are the goals? What are the things you want to do? And don't judge any of them. Don't say, I don't know whether I can achieve this. Look, I am where I am today. If somebody had told me I was going to be here 30, 40 years ago, I'd be going, no way, it's never going to happen to me. So don't judge your goal, because the worst thing you can do is kill your own goals yourself. Okay, don't switch out the light, switch the light on. Don't switch it out, don't switch it off, switch it on. So let's break all your goals. So these are the categories you want to do. The first one I want you to do, and this is something we recommend from the Y Factor Academy, is the first one is personal and career goals. Personal and career goals, that's what you're going to have to do to develop, to go become successful, to give you the income, to get the lifestyle you want. The second one is your family and relationships goals. This is why you do what you do. The third is your health. You've got to protect your health. I don't know about you, I'm going for 100 years old at least. Now you got to start taking care of yourself if you want to live to 100 or more years old. Then social life goals. What are those goals you want to do? You want to have fun along the way. And finally, number 5 is your personal development. How did I go from sleeping on a friend's chair with absolutely nothing, penniless, to becoming the president of a global organization? When people ask me that, I tell you this, it's personal development. You've got to improve you personally to get your confidence up, to then go build the next step, to then improve you. And it's like that. That's how you build yourself up. But it starts with you working on you and believing in yourself. So what I want you to do now is start making a dream list of all those 5 categories. Let's start with your personal and career goals. What do you want to do? Think about this. I wish they taught this in school, but there's so many things they don't teach us, and I'm not going to cover that now, but this is it. The job you do equals the money you make, and the money you make equals the lifestyle you live. So we have to go get a job. That job pays you X, and that X gives you a lifestyle. And so when you want to start thinking about a bigger lifestyle, your brain goes, yeah, but I can't do it. The job's only paying me $10 an hour or whatever it is. So I can't get that lifestyle. What they don't teach you is, my philosophy is the reverse. You start with the lifestyle. What's the lifestyle you want? And I'm going to be showing you some outdoor activities here, because I'm here doing this video right now in Cancun, in Mexico, and I've got a beautiful view. I'm going to share that with you. And I'm going to say, you want to start with the lifestyle and then say, okay, how much money do I need to get this lifestyle? And then what is the jobs? What are my career prospects I'm going to have to go on to get there? So again, start thinking about what type of job you want. Are you working in a company right now that you can work your way up the ladder? That's very important. Are you in that type of environment? Are you in a job where there's capping? It doesn't matter how hard you work, you're never going to get promoted. Well, if you're in that situation, that's not going to help you. So what's your personal and career goals that you are going to be working for? You don't have to leave where you are, but what is that next step goal? How are you going to turn your job from $10 an hour to $20 an hour to $50 an hour to $100 an hour to $200 an hour? How do you do that? Have you got that career path that's going to allow you to do that? And that might mean you need to go back to college and study and get yourself a different profession. What do you want to earn a year? Now, again, stage it. Don't go, I'm going to go from $20,000 a year to $200,000 a year in 30 days. It's not going to happen, okay? You can, but let's be realistic here. But let's stage it. I'm going to go from $20,000 a year to $50,000 a year to $100,000. What are those income bands that you want to go to? Set some clear goals. What's financial security do you want? Where do you want to be 5, 10 years from now? How much savings do you want in the bank? What are the investments? What's your loan reduction? You might want to be debt free. What pension planning have you got? What property, what investments are you going to be making again? You've got to start putting this stuff down on paper. Take your thoughts, put it on paper, you clean it up, you make sure you get it accurate, and then when you finish that, you put that back up here. That's how we work. Most people miss that middle section out. They think about it here, they keep it here, and because you never put it on paper, you never materialize it. It's not visual enough for you to see it. You can get clarity and you can get your vision. Now, the second thing you've got to do now is your family. Now, what are your family goals? What are the things you want to do with your family? Now, it might be you want to get married, you want to have kids, you want your kids to go to private school, what type of house you want to live in, what are the family holidays you want to go to, what are the destinations you want to do, what is the things you want to do, what is the philosophy of your family? These are family goals today. What do you want your kids to aspire to there? How are you going to help them achieve what they might be good at? What is their special trait in life? So what are those goals for your family? Think about it. Start making that list. Start making that list. Remember, this is a dream list. There's no judging. Can we do this? Can't we do this? What we can, what we can't. Just put everything. We're going to show you how to qualify what you can or can't do. But for now, keep dreaming. Let's just get that list down. The next thing to add to your dream list there, while we're dreaming on paper, remember we're going to turn our dreams into reality, but first we got to get listed. The next thing is your health goal. You know, my mom used to say to me, you use your health in search of wealth and your wealth in search of health. Make sure on this journey as you begin to grow, you are looking after your health, and that starts now. You know, you've got to start taking control. You've got to start thinking about what you're putting into your body. Are you cutting out all the greasy stuff? Are you cutting out all those chemicals that they add to our food? There, you've got to start thinking about what you're putting in there. Are you doing exercises? How do you feel? Just general looking after yourself. Now, I'm not saying you've got to be on this massive diet and you've got to do all these things. I'm just saying, are you taking care of your health? Are you conscious of what you're putting into your body? Are you conscious of what you're giving your family to eat? Are you eating the right things? Are you taking care? There's enough stuff to read about nutrition and all that. What I've just learned, very simple, is, hey, eat loads of vegetables, minimize the junk food or cut it out as much as you can, drink loads of water, make sure you exercise. Okay, this is it. But let me tell you one good thing about your health, and this brings us on to the next thing. This is so important about your health, your social life. That's the next thing. By the way, who are you hanging around with? Because what could be affecting your health, you could just be hanging around the wrong people. There are some miserable people out there, guys. Come on. You know what I'm talking about. I've talked to some people, and by the time they finish with you, you want to throw the towel in. Guys, you got to be conscious of who are the social people you're hanging out with. I said this in my book, The Why Factor, and please don't take this the wrong way, but it's just error. When my mom always used to say to me as a kid, she says, Ayo, if you hang around dogs, you're going to end up with fleas. If you hang around the wrong people, and I have a period in my life, I hung around the wrong people, and I never achieved anything. We never did anything because the conversation around the table was, there's no point trying. We're stuck in a rut. Just stay there. What's your point? Nobody's going to employ you. Nobody's going to give you a job. And so I never did anything. So your social life, look at the people you're hanging around with and start building into yourself a great social life, hanging around with the right people, and look at the places you want to go to, the things you want to do. What hobbies do you have? Do you like the theater? Do you like eating out in nice restaurants? What is it? Make sure you have a social life, because that needs to go along. It's not just about working hard. You got to play as well. And the last category is personal development. We already have at the Y Factor Academy so many videos and so many recordings on personal development. Please go watch them. Take the time out to invest in yourself. Personal development is about looking at who you are today and looking at who would you like to be tomorrow. I remember looking at myself and I go, I didn't really like the quiet, shy, introvert, no confidence, type of person I was. And I thought, I want to just be me. I want to be a little bit more confident. I want to be able to hold my own. I want to be able to hold a conversation. So I started working on me, and I started looking at other people. And remember, nobody is better than you, but they might be ahead of you in that direction. And I looked at people and said, okay, they're ahead of me in this direction. What do I need to get there? So start making again on your list. What are those things you want to develop? It might be more confidence. It might be you want to be more articulately spoken in the way you speak. It might be you want to change your body language. And I'll give you one quick tip for that. Learn to talk and just raise raise your voice a little bit. What I found is your body language is connected to your voice. So you see, if I go into a miserable conversation right now, I'm going to lie. You don't understand, Ayo. Life is just, see, my whole body language goes. But if I say, you know what, today is another day in paradise. That's one of the first things I say to myself every morning when I wake up, another day in paradise. And go, thank you, Lord. I'm awake. I'm still here. Hey, I've got another great day. So what are those things you need to develop on you as a person personally to make you a more confident person? Because the more confident you are, the more you believe in yourself, the more successful you become. The two go hand in hand together. What are those things you need to work on yourself? Keep making that list. Keep using the workbook. Let's keep writing that down. Step three is you've got this dream list. You've been going around the world in 80 days. I know you've done everything. Everything's on this list right now. And this is important. This is a list you keep adding. This is not it. You have to learn to keep adding to it. You might see something. You might see a place on the TV and you go, you know what? I want to go visit that place. I want to find out where that is and go visit it. So that list, keep building and developing that list. But now you've got the list for now. The next step we've got to do now is we've got to review these goals. And the way you review these goals is very simple. I want you to look at the goal and go, is this really a goal? And when I say is this really a goal, is this something I am prepared to make sacrifices for, or is this it'd be nice to have it? Because I've got to be quite honest with you. If you're not prepared to make any sacrifices to go get those, you're not going to do it. So let's start going through those goals and begin to take themselves and ask yourself, do I really want this goal? Am I prepared to make the sacrifices for it? And then look at some of them and don't go, maybe I don't deserve this goal. Think, why not me? Why not me? Why shouldn't I have a nice home in a nice neighborhood? Why shouldn't my kids go to private school? Why shouldn't I? What is that for you? Why not you? Think about that. Then once you've got that list now of the goals you're prepared to make sacrifices for, what I want you to do is categorize them. And when I say categorize them, I want you to categorize them into A, B, C. A is, I gotta have this. B is, I still want this, but these are my big goals. And then C is that they'd be nice to have them, and those are your C goals. So once you've categorized them there, then the next thing you need to do with those goals is you need to go, which one are short-term goals and which one are long-term goals. Summarize here, you're reviewing your goals, you've categorized them into A, B, C groups, okay, and now you're looking at which one are short-term goals and which one are long-term goals. You've got to look at these goals and you got to start saying, this is me. This is the me of tomorrow. This is what I'm working for. These are the areas I'm supposed to make sacrifices. Because once you place that in your belief system, once you place it in your conscious, your subconscious will look for it. That's what happens when you begin to set these goals and then you begin to quantify them and you begin to believe in them. Your subconscious goes to work to find ways you can achieve this. That's why goal setting is so powerful. So let's do the review. Let's categorize them. We're going to go to the next step. Step number four, set a deadline. So again, we've done the dream list. We've now categorized them into A, B, and C. We know which ones are our prime goals. We've put them short-term and long-term. But what we need to do with these is we need to put some dates. A goal without a date is just a wish list. So it's just like saying, I'm going to go on holiday. Yeah, but when are you going? Just saying, I'm going to buy a new car. When are you going to get the new car? So the deadline is a critical point, and a lot of people don't like putting dates to a goal because they feel pressured. No, it's not pressured. The date is really adrenaline. It gives you focus of a deadline you've got to get to. So you've got to take each one of those goals and set a deadline for when I want to achieve this by this. We're coming up now. You've got a whole new year ahead of you. What are your goals for this year coming up? What's your goal for the next year and the year after that and the year after that? What are your goals to finish the year? You need deadlines. So when if you say I'm on the 16th of the month of this month, on the 16th of January, I'm going to go and do X. What is that deadline that you have set for yourself? There's no wrong goals. You might get the dates wrong. Okay, in other words, you might say I want to achieve this by the 20th and you don't achieve it till the 25th. There's nothing wrong with that. The date is just to give you a real strong guide to work towards. So take all your goals you've written and start putting some timelines by them. And when I say, no, I'm going to achieve this year or next year, when next year? On the 25th of August. I always like to set goals around my birthday. So by my next birthday, I want to have achieved X, Y, Z. By my next birthday, I want to have this. Learn to use time frames because that's what makes it exciting. Imagine a game of football and no timeline. You know, they didn't say you got 90 minutes for the game. Imagine a game of football and they go, hey, just play till you're tired. That's not going to be exciting. Imagine a game of football with no goalposts. Why do you think they call it a goalpost? Because it's about goals. I don't care how many times you run up and down the pitch, did you score more goals than the other side? And even if the other team scores against you, it doesn't matter so long as you score more against them. That's what goal setting is all about. It's putting that goalpost into your life, putting a time frame in which to get the job done, which is setting a deadline, and then just never giving up, just going for it, just push it, just keep yourself going, and you give it everything you've got till the referee blows the whistle. And the exciting thing about this game of life that we're talking about is it's your life and you are the referee. You can blow the whistle whenever you want. And if you haven't won the match in 90 minutes, guess what you do? You extend it, you play extra. Are you with me on this? That's what you've got to do. Set that deadline for each goal, get that time frame, and then don't give up on it. And if you don't achieve the goal, don't change the goal. Just change the date and the timeline. Step number 5, this is the reality check. Step number 5 is about what are the obstacles? What are the things that are going to stop you achieving your goals? What are the things that are going to slow you down? So again, get your pen and pad, get your piece of paper and start working in your workbook. Start thinking about what's going to stop me. I'll give you one thing that could stop you. My thinking, negative thinking can hold me back. What is it? What could stop me? I don't have enough knowledge in that area. I don't really know. I'm stuck in a rut and I need to be able to break out of it. So what are the obstacles? What are the things that are going to slow you down? Maybe I haven't got enough time because my whole time is preoccupied. Then you've got to look at where you spend your time and do a time log to see where you can take time away from this part to invest time over there. So what are the obstacles? I'll give you another obstacle. Okay, your family could be an obstacle. Your partner could be an obstacle. This is the reality of life. They might be against you trying to do whatever you want to do. I know when I got started in sales, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law at the time were not happy. They used to say, so when is he going to get a proper job? And they were against what I was doing. And bless their soul, they're the loveliest people, but they didn't understand my industry. And they're advising me about direct sales. They can't. And I remember, and they can tell you what, when I bought my first home, and this is going back over 30 years ago, think about this, over 30 years ago, when I bought my first home for £300,000, which is what, about $400,000, then 30 years ago, that's when they went, oh, I get it. So what are the obstacles in your life? Because they're people, the circumstances, the skills that are going to hold you back from being successful. And you need to put it on paper. And it's amazing when you take an obstacle and you write it down on paper. I'm not going to mention the family member is going to hold me back. And you put it down on paper and you begin to look at it and you now know it's an obstacle. I talked about football earlier on. There is no way you're going to run from one end of the pitch to the other end of the pitch without being tackled. Think about it. You're the sports person on the pitch and you go, where the tackle's going to come from? I've got to get from here to here, but what are the obstacles? And that's why you need to start thinking in advance. It's just like driving a car and thinking ahead. What if somebody runs out onto the road? You've got to be prepared for these events in advance. Step number 6 is knowledge. We already touched on it a little bit. What is the knowledge you are going to need to get from here to there? Again, you can't go from this position to that position and you don't learn anything. Hey, think about this. You need education. You're going to have to educate yourself. And this is what we're doing here. We are educating you. I hope you're taking in the nuggets. This is education. And education is motivation. That's real motivation. If you get educated and you empower yourself and you learn your industry and you learn your trade, it will take you to the next level. So if you want to do something, you go, what is the areas I need knowledge from? What is the skills? What are the new skills I need to develop? Who are the people I need to learn from? Which are the podcasts I need to go through? I want you to start doing this stuff. You've got to invest in you. Make sure you're doing these exercises and you're writing everything down. See, your life is worth fighting for. Why not you? Why not you? You were born to win. And these are the simple tools that you use. What's the knowledge you are going to want to do? If you want to get into investment, you need to go and study about investments. And if you want to get advice, it's very important. Make sure you get advice from a qualified source. I see people get advice from unqualified sources. They go and talk to somebody, say, hey, that'll never work. I was told when I got into my industry, they said that wouldn't work. Well, I've done hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of business later. Imagine I'd listen to them because they are not qualified. So one tool here, when anybody's giving you advice, before you listen, I want you to ask yourself this, not to them, to yourself. Is this person qualified in the area they're giving me advice in? I know I'm qualified in my industry. I'm qualified in what I'm talking to you now because this is tried and tested. I've trained thousands and thousands of people. They have applied this. I've seen people grow and go and become successful and go and become wealthy because they've used this same program. I'm giving you advice. I know my stuff. Now, if you want to ask me about, hey, the engineering structure to build a bridge, I am the wrong person. I am the wrong person. That bridge is probably going to collapse. So there's no point taking engineering advice from me. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. What's the knowledge you need to get you to the heights that you want to get to become successful? I'm going to give you another little tip. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know what you know, and you need to know what you don't know. And in the areas you don't know, go find an expert. Go find an expert in that area. And then you put the two together, and then anything is possible. Step number 7 is to identify the people's help you will need. We talked about this earlier on. If you're going to get advice from a qualified source, so think about the goal. Whose help would you need? So, for example, I want a 5-bedroom home in this neighborhood. Whose help would you need? You're going to need the help of the mortgage advisor to find out what are the mortgage criteria to be able to buy a house in that neighborhood for X amount of dollars. If you want to do something particularly and you want to go and personal development, whose help are you going to need? One of my big things that I did was Brian Tracy, Anthony Robbins, these guys, Jim Rohn. I spend hours and hours of just listening over and over again. Make a list now of the people whose help you'll need. I'll give you another good one. You're going to need the help of your partner. Sometimes when I say the help of your partner, that help might just be, I just need you to give me space to be able to go and try this new venture out or do something. I just need your support. I just need your backing. You might need the help of your kids. Whatever it is, you've got to write it down. You might need the help of your boss. Go and speak to your boss and say, hey, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to aspire. Will you help me? Will you help me? Whose help will you need to make a list? That's step number 7. And step number 8 is to organize the last 3. So we're talking about the obstacles, people's help you need. We just want you to organize the knowledge and just think about, let's get those 3 things together. How do we put that into a plan? So I want you to think about building a house. Imagine you went to a builder and you said to the builder, I want you to build me a 5-bedroom house with 3 bathrooms. What are the chances of you getting exactly the house you wanted? Because now you have said, I want a 5-bedroom house. You've gone to a builder, but it's the builder's interpretation of your goal and what he thinks a 5-bedroom house should look like. If you go to an architect and you sit down with the architect and he designs, he takes your ideas, he puts it on paper and he designs it, and then he shows you a print of what he's designed and you play with it and you change things till you've got it perfect. Hey, that's what we mean by organizing a plan. You've got to get that plan, because now when you take that plan to a builder, they'll build exactly what you have here. So this is it. You are the architect of your own life. You are the architect of your future. But you've got to take time to write this out into a plan. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you can go over it and over again and it becomes part of your everyday. And once you've got that, then you can go to the next step. Step number 9 is begin to visualize it in the mind's eye. And you can put it in because you now exactly know, like the architect, you've drawn this plan out. This is where I'm going. This is what I want. And one of the best ways to do that is to create a vision board, to get a board and begin to take pictures and cuttings and stick them on there so you can physically see. If there's a particular car, you want that car, a picture of that car, then if you can get a picture of the car in the color you want, which today you can go online to any of these major car manufacturers right now and you can design your own car and you can take a picture of it. You've got to create that vision of the places you want to go to, the places where you want to live, the type of house, the type of car, the type of clothes. We visualize the type of what you want. You've got to take each one of your goals and turn it into a picture that you can visualize. I'll say that again. We've made the list, we've qualified the list, and you take those prime goals and you go, I have to now make a vision board to have a picture of each one of those goals. So your brain can see it and have your vision board. I know people who've taken the vision board and they actually put it on the screen of their phone. It's on the iPad, it's on the laptop. Every time they switch it on, it comes on. They have pictures of it. They have it in their bedroom. They have it around the house. Remember, your conscious mind is the commander-in-chief. That's the receiving. So once your conscious mind has accepted an image, your subconscious goes to work to fulfill it and create it. The clearer it is, the simpler it is for you to go and achieve it. What are you blessing yourself with? What are you inviting into your life comes from your vision. In the Bible, it says, without vision, you will perish. It didn't say without vision, you'll be okay. I'm not preaching religion here, but it didn't say if you don't have vision, you'll be all right. It says, without vision, you will perish. In other words, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to end up in the right place? This is reality. There's so many things, again, we visualize, but you've got to have to visualize your goals, the things that are going to change you. Visualize yourself successful. Go and get dressed up. Go and do it. Go and get yourself dressed up in a dinner suit and take a picture of yourself. Look at that image and say, that's me. See yourself as a professional in your industry. See yourself as top of the game. What vision do you have of yourself? Make your vision your mission and make your mission your vision. And you just keep doing that again and again and going over it and over and over again. Because when opportunity knocks, you've got to know what you want. You cannot wait for the genie to appear before you decide what you want. You've got to make those goals now, set them up, visualize it, think about it, so when the opportunity comes, you're ready to take advantage. And that's the power of visualization. So step number 10 is to take your goals, take your plan, and write everything down in the present tense as if you've achieved it. So things like, not saying I will have a Mercedes one day, that's in the future. So what you have to do to use the power, that God-given gift you've got in there, to use that power, that visualization, you've got to see it as it is. So you go, I drive a Mercedes model, whatever it is, blue, black leather, whatever, the alloys, you've got to spin it out. You have to write these goals down so they're in the present tense as if you've achieved it. If it's a career position, you go, I am the VP or the general manager, whatever that position is, I own that position. So you have got to write that down in detail. The brain, when it has detail, it works tenfold. So just start thinking about that. If you don't give it detail, it's hard for it to go, well, so where are we going? What are we going to achieve? What's the destination? Remember I said with the sat-nav and the GPS, what's the first thing you got to do is the destination. And you can't just go, I'm going to London, because the navigation system is going to go, yeah, but where? London is a big place. We've got to give it the town, the street. We might get away without the number, but we've got to give it some clarity for that navigation system. Your brain is the navigation system. It will figure it out, but you have to give it a destination. And that destination is writing each goal in a clear, precise, present tense. just like, again, another example, you're going to lose weight. Man saying you're going to lose weight. How much weight are you going to lose? I don't know. I'm just going to lose some weight. No, you've got to say, I'm going to lose 1 pound, 5 pounds. What is your target weight? You've got to write it down, and that's how you do. Every time you weigh yourself, you're measuring yourself against that target weight. So write that goal in the present tense and then read it over and over again till it's embedded in there, and just apply that to yourself. Now, one of my goals I write down is an affirmation. Again, it's one of the series we've done on the Y Factor, is everything I touch is a success. That's a goal. Everything I touch is a success. You can do that too. This is the game changer that I found in goal setting. Because remember, I talked about the noise. When this world, we have so much noise. So you've made your list, you've got all these goals, and you've got so many goals, we're going to do this. That's great. But you could have 10, 20, 50, or 100 goals of things you want to achieve. And if you're not careful, you're going to be chasing too many goals. So this is the secret. This is the one key point. And I'm glad you stayed on to the end, because this nails it there. And if you like what you've seen today, what you've heard, like and subscribe. Share this information. Get your kids, get everybody into this goal setting. Walk them through the process. Get on there. Get them to sign up. Get them to subscribe in there. We can change lives together. But here's the strategy. This is what I've learned. You take all your goals, you look at them. We've been through the exercises. You've categorized them. You've written a plan out. You've put it in the present tense. You've got all your goals. What I want you to do now is take that list and ask yourself, which one of these goals, just one, I need to pick one goal, that if I achieve this one goal, it takes out these other 10, 20 goals. When you get that, and what I realized was that one goal was to find something that's going to get you into this position in life. Because when you get to this position and this income level, to get there means you can take care of the kids' school and everything that needs to go in there. And to get there, you have to develop yourself personally. So what's that one goal amongst all your goals you got? If I get this one goal, what's it going to take? And that goal generally is somewhere in your career goals. What's that one goal I need to achieve in my career that's going to get me the house, the lifestyle, the car? What's that position? Look at your list, make the decision, circle it, look at your master plan like the architect in your life and go, how am I going to build this? How am I going to build this? Remember, nobody is better than you. There are people ahead of you, but don't confuse them with being better than you. They're just ahead of you. Find out what they're doing, find out how you can do those steps. And remember, just remember this, you can achieve anything you want to achieve, but never question your ability. Always question your performance, but never your ability. You were born to win. You are a unique you. There is only one of you in the world. You are priceless, but it starts with you believing in yourself and going out there. And if you mess up, clean yourself up and let's go again. Let's go again. You cannot give up on you. This is a never ever give up. We've done the exercises. We've prioritized them. These goals are important to you. You don't give up on the goal. You might not achieve them in the time frame you put together. You just adjust the date, but you don't give up on the goal. See, you got to talk life to yourself. You've got to talk positivity to yourself. You've got to talk belief to yourself in there and watch yourself grow and empower yourself. And so those are the 10 steps. What is critical when you've gone through this exercise is you've got to be careful who you share these goals with, because not everybody around you is going to be enthusiastic as you about your goals. And not everybody actually understands the power of goal setting. They say only 3% of the population actually have written goals. It takes time. You've got to revisit it. You've got to refresh it again and again, because you change as a person. So some of your goals will change as you change and grow. I always use this analogy. When you climb up the mountain, the further up the mountain you go, the further you can see. The more successful you become, the more success you can see. So it's important you keep revisiting these goals and listen to this exercise again 2 or 3 times. This is your life. Is it worth investing in? I can't answer that question for you. I know I invested in me many years ago, and I'm so glad I made that investment. And I continue to invest in what I'm doing. And I'm sharing this with you because I've just realized that all these tools we're giving you, all these tools I'm sharing with you are free. It's just whether you are going to take the time to invest in yourself and learn from those who've gone before you and take some of those nuggets and apply to yourself. And why are we doing this? Because our goal of the Y Factor Academy is to empower you to take action so you can not just make a difference in your life, but you too can go back and help other people become successful, because your success becomes their success. Our success is your success, and your success is our success. And the more of us out there helping and touching other people's lives mean we can build a better world together. Thank you for listening.